Hello, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we will start looking into the cart service, so stay tuned. Take a look at the cart service now. The first thing we're gonna look at is the dependencies. So we know we are using Java 3, and what do we need here? We need Spring Boot starter actuator, Spring Boot starter JP data JPA, and Spring Boot starter validation, and Spring Boot starter web, Spring Boot micrometer tracing Brave, and this is for Zipkin reporter Brave, and Spring Cloud starter config, Spring Cloud starter Netflix Eureka client. We need the Postgres SQL, and we need the Lombok, and then the starters that comes with them, Spring Web, and we need so this is what happens when you add all those dependencies, and it is a matchup for you. It is created for you, so I didn't do any of this. It comes when you create the Maven project. So that is for the cart. And then the next thing we look at in the cart is this, right? We want to take a look at the entity. We got two entities here, or modules here. So we got the cart entity, and in the cart entity is quite simple. We are annotating it with entity, and we are annotating it with all argument constructor, no argument constructor, builder, getter, setter, and the table will be called cart. And we are generating the ID as we create the cart, and of course we are labeling the way we want the field to be. We are using the user name here, and we are mapping the cart to cart item, many items within a cart. So one cart will contain many cart items, and then we have a cart method with the user name. Okay, so this is like a there was an error, and I needed, because I was creating a thing, but I needed to make sure that I create a custom where I am using the username. So I will change this at some point, right? No, I won't change it here. I'll change it within the controller. Okay. Then let's have a look at cart item. So cart item works a bit like the order line, right? So in the cart item you have we have all the annotations that we need. We are generating the ID as we created, and we have the product ID, quantity, the price we are buy of the product, and many to one to cart. So many cart items to one cart. Okay, so that is the modules. The next one after the entity is, because there isn't much here, right? So is the entity is, I mean, we've got all the details, so that's normal. Want to take a look at is the controller. So in the controller, then we got the main API and REST mapping, and we are wrapping it the same way that we do with the others, /carts, and REST controller. When we want to do logs, we inject this one, or we annotate with this one. Require constructor, and then we are injecting the service here, and also the repository. I don't think we are using the repository, but we're just injecting the service. And then we have this one is just to check that the service up and running, and it's okay. And then the next one is /add, and this is when we add an item to cart. In order to add an item to cart, we are dragging in the username, and we are passing it on plus the request to this item to add to the cart. So this one is cart request. Cart request just has make sure that this is not a null, is the product ID and the amount, which is quantity, not the amount as in money but quantity, and it's a record as well. So we are passing it on, and if everything is okay, of course we return the cart as a response, and we if not, then of course we display the error as you can see over there. Let's take a look at this method. This is the only method we're going to take a look at because I don't think we need to worry. So this is the service, is we are annotating a service, require constructor, and we are calling the values as usual. So if we go into the cart configuration of the config server, let's see if we can get it. Okay, I think this time we will get it. I think there was a problem. Yeah, so this is the one we want. And the cart configuration server, we have application. So we have application, then we have config, we have config.config, and then we have cart URL, we have product URL. What am I talking about? Then we have the product URL. So this is the product URL. So this is the one we are referring to, because the product at the moment we are using it as a client. So we are communicating with this the product's endpoint with the product API with this value here, which is product dash URL, and that is exactly what we got here. Then of course we got to open it and begin it with the $, and then close. Make sure everything is closed, otherwise you get errors. Okay, so we pass on the username and the cart request, which contains the product ID and the quantity, and then we try to find that username within that cart and then store it in this. So find cart repository, find by username. We find that cart by username, and then this username is down there, is in here. Find by ID, find by username. Okay, find by username is in the repository. We've created that repository, and this is the reason why we needed that be in. We needed a constructor in the entity, constructor in the entity with user, otherwise I was getting errors. Yeah, I just want to go to the service, and then we are then we will, otherwise if we don't find it, then throw this exception. No, sorry, else get, and then we save this then here. Okay, otherwise then we are using the product response, and we pass on the product ID and request to the product response, and we fetch product by ID, which is right here. Get card by username, get product by ID. This is what we were looking for, right? Why did I even do that? Apart from that, obviously it's here, and it's this one where we find the card by username, and then we are fetching the product ID product by ID. See, this is where we are using the product client, the product service client. So the URL we've built up here at the top here, that's the one we just taken a look. We are now using it to go to the API of product /ID. Okay, so if we go into the product, I think it's different. Yeah, in the product controller we have a method which gets a product by the ID, and this is the method we are calling. Okay, it just space a product ID, and then it checks the repository to make sure that they can find this one. And why am I using product service here? You see, this is where test comes in. So I'll take a look and see. Okay, yeah, because this is the contrast. Okay, so we take it to the product service first, and the product service uses the repository to find it. So and then we throw, if it's a null, we throw exception. If it is not a null, then we get the details. If not, then otherwise we return, sorry, if it's not a null, we get the details and return it as okay, as a cart response. Otherwise we say not found. Okay, so that is definitely. Do we want to take a look at this one? So this is what we use, find product by ID. We will go into the repository and find the product by ID, otherwise we will say product not found. All right, let's see if we can go back to cart service, and it's right here. We must just go. So that is the endpoint we are looking at here, and then we are taking the headers, and then we are already passing on these headers. See, I need to sort this out because I have to get it from the, I think there was a problem dragging the headers in this way, but I will have to take a look at it properly to understand where I left it and why I needed to do this. But we can basically get that user name straight down from the gateway. So I'm not quite sure why. I'll take a look at it again. Alright guys, I'm going to end the video here because as we run out of time, so we will pick it up in the next section in the next video. Thank you for watching, and please do like my videos and share, and do subscribe to my channel. I will really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Bye.